Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Boaz Deri. I am the founder of Facts Commando. In Israel, in Hebrew, we call it Commando Hasbara. On this presentation, we're going to talk why we are here, why we do what we do, and we're going to explain more things about what happened behind the scenes, and the answer of about frequently questions. And this meeting is going to be really interesting. So a little bit about me. My name is Boaz. I'm 32 years old. I'm a developer, a software developer. And in the start of the war, I see a lot of people that want to do advocacy for Israel. Good, and not everyone have the keys to do it in a expert, yes. So that's a little hard. So I just decided to create some tool that give to everyone the opportunity to do advocacy in minimal effort. And what we do in the Facts Commando, we combine a community, a huge community, about 8,000 of advocates, and technology that give to everyone the opportunity to do advocacy for Israel and for the Jewish population in the world with just 2 clicks, with minimal effort, and that's it. What we do, and that's what we do in a Facts Commando. So here we can see a little bit what happens behind the scenes in a higher level, yes. So the facts product section, and in the group sections we have a lot of administrations and people that give the support for the people, and the community that do what we need to do, and every day, every task in our software. And in the other side, we have the product. The product is developed by developers, designers, digital creators create our content that we share every day, and the researcher that doing the research and analyze
Bad one.
all what we do, analyze our traffic, or our all what we do in the networks. So they look if this kind of what kind of post are more engagement or like this. So from the research, going back to the digital creators and give them the feedback, and we all the time improve ourselves. And that's what create our tool of Facts Commando site. And the combination of the tool and the community of advocacy advocates together is really powerful. And together now I think we're going over 300,000 posts. We create 300,000 posts in Facebook, and we share this post all over the world, only because what we do here in Facts Commando, and because our community. So first of all, thank you for share our post and do your effort every day, and I'm really appreciate it. And now we're going deeply on this presentation. with Dganit Toren, the consultant. And after Dganit, we're going to see Moran talk about other things. So Dganit, come on, come to the stage.
Thank you, Boaz. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. I am Dganit. Just first of all, I have to say I have a little cold, so if I sound bad, not my fault. I was born in Israel. I served as an air traffic controller in the Israeli Air Force. I live in Los Angeles for about 18 years now, and I work as an attorney. The issue of anti-Semitism had always been close to my heart. All of my grandparents, ancestors were in the Holocaust, and I have been reading about it and writing about it throughout the years. I would like us to pause for a second and think why we are here today. If you can, please write it in the chat so later on we can see and your thoughts. In my opinion, the reason we are here today in this Zoom is because after October 7, many of us suddenly realized what we're up against. I think as Jewish people have missed something along the way. We missed, I would say, the background noise of the hatred machine. Before October 7, we have seen anti-Semitism in many places, but we chose to ignore it mostly. We wanted to believe that we live in a modern world and that we are protected. After October 7, we realized that we are not really protected and that we need to work hard to help ourselves and change the hatred narrative. I talked to some people after October 7 who say there will always be Jew hatred and there is nothing we can do about it. I'm sure you heard that too. Personally, I don't think I can agree with this approach because ignoring the problem can sometimes make it bigger. Like in the 1930s, we must face it and we must learn and we must use all the tools we have to counter it. There is no other choice because this is related to the very existence of each and every one of us, I think. Had African Americans not raised their voices, there would be no laws and regulations to protect them. And now there are. We need to raise our voices on many fronts. And one important front is spreading the truth in social media. The truth about war, about Israel, about history, about Zionism, Judaism, and every possible lie they so effectively spread about us. One point I always raise when I talk about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is how they used PR, or we can call it propaganda because it's lies, so effectively for many years under the radar that the world mostly believes that Israelis are the aggressors and they, the Palestinians, are the victim of constant Israeli aggression. Being Israeli, I know this is far from the truth. In fact, it is in direct contradiction of truth. You realize that when you research the history of wars in the region. I also feel many Jews and Israelis like to talk about how we are stronger, how we won't let the Holocaust happen again, which is true and positive. But along the way, we sometimes forget to show our vulnerabilities, to emphasize and share how we are being attacked. We need to remember to call out our mistreatment and not to accept or minimize what had been done to us and what is currently being done to us by Hamas and their international allies. We can't accept attacks on civilians in Israel. We must call out hatred, lies, anti-Semitism. We can't accept any type of discrimination. A couple of words about anti-Semitism. After much debate, the House of Representatives declared recently that anti-Zionism is another form of anti-Semitism. There might be a link in the slideshow, but I will share a link later on in the chat if you want to read about it. I know people in the Jewish community here in LA who have warned about this growing hate movement for a few years now, before October 7. And this shows that success can be achieved. Zionist became a word of slur, as if we need to be ashamed that we are born in Israel or that we believe Jews have the right for their own state. We need to change that. We need to call out people who call us Zionists as an insult. When replying online, you may want to use this distinction from the Holocaust Remembrance website, and I'll share it later on in the chat as well. And that's the quote. When anti-Zionists call for the end of the Jewish state, that is no longer criticism of policy, but rather anti-Semitism. And even more than that, I would say. Although the House solution is not legally binding, it forms a strong message. And now is the time to call for legal measures to ensure all forms of anti-Semitism will be prohibited under the law. One last word about politics. I strongly believe that we can't let politics distract us from our goal to combat anti-Semitism. I know it's a touchy subject, but I would like us to sometimes set aside our political affiliations when we advocate for Israel, because we must save our energy and unite our forces in order to combat something that is bigger than us, I would say. I belong to a few US-based anti-Semitism groups, and sometimes people there begin arguing about politics and it gets bad. We need to understand that as much as it is important to vote and be involved, there is something bigger here. And we can't let politics distract us from the importance of working together to fight anti-Semitism and help Israel as much as we can. That's my point of view. And if we can try to be bipartisan like AIPAC, we might be very successful. To conclude, I would like to share my deep appreciation for Aryeh, Boaz, and for the amazing task they took upon themselves with Commando Facts. Good luck to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dganit. Hi, everyone. My name is Moran. I am the administrator of the WhatsApp group for Facts Commando. And before I start my part, I really want to say thank you to Dganit for this really informative piece that I think we're all struggling with all these concepts, and we're all here for different reasons. And I was reading meanwhile in the chat, all the great responses that the group has added, and you can see the commonality of our shared sentiments and what brought us here. For me, October 7 was very traumatizing, and it really woke me up. I live in Toronto for 30 years, and I saw anti-Semitism like everybody else, but I never thought much of it. It was never something that I was worried about. It was something from the past and an opinion. It wasn't something that I was concerned about. And when October 7 happened, it's that feeling of being unsecured and being insecure in my own situation, and understanding that no one is safe is the part that really was really changing my feelings about this whole issue. So why are we here, and what are we doing? So as Boaz was telling you, when October 7 happened, and we started looking at what's going on around the world and seeing the rise of anti-Semitism, we understood that Hasbara, the advocacy for Israel and for the Jewish people, is actually saving life. It's saving life because it's combating the notion of anti-Semitism, that we can now see a lot of hate crimes starting to happen all around the world. So that's the first step. But the other part of it is basically the international support of the IDF operation in Gaza these days is very, very critical. It's required for the IDF to be able to operate. And we know they are fighting to bring our hostages back, and they're fighting to stop Hamas, to terminate and internationally recognize terrorist organizations. So that is very critical, and we need the support of the international community to do that. Boaz, can we go to the next slide? Sorry. Thank you. So we all know that the Israeli government has not done a great service for Hasbara over the past decades. And to be fair, all of us didn't do a great job on that. A lot of us were focusing on other things. And like I said, even when you saw anti-Semitism, we didn't do much about it. And we now see this negative propaganda, lies that are being spread across social media. The world is really are fed by social media, and that's what we're actually where we get the information. So if we get false information, that's what we know. If we get the right information, then we are exposed to why some of the things that we hear are lies. The issue that we have with spreading information is that usually we spread it to our friends in our community, in our circle of family and friends. So even this great post that I'm sure all of you have seen, when we post it on our wall, it actually gets to our cousins, to our friends, to our brothers and sisters, and people who already know that, and they've spread the same thing to the same people. But the people we're trying to get to are people that don't have access to this information, people that actually see on their public feed a lot of lies about Jewish people, about what's happening in Gaza, about what's happened on October 7. And that is what we're trying to fight. And that's where we understand that we need to basically get to those social medias, to the people that are outside of our circle, and educate them and give them access to this information. So some of the questions that people in this group forwarded to us, and some of these are repeated from a lot of our groups, are how do we choose those groups? How do we decide that there are going to be people that we want to educate them, and we want to give them access to the content that we have? And I wanted to describe this a little bit because I know that's something that comes up with everyone that's trying to do our task and take part in this effort. And essentially what we have is we have a search engine that is looking for pro-Israeli keywords, hashtags, and also sources that we are familiar with, that we trust, and try to find posts on Facebook in different groups, whether they're neutral or pro-Israeli, and see that those posts are there. And the idea is that if there is a post that is pro-Israeli in some way, that we can verify that with the keywords or the hashtag, then we know that there are people there that are open to what is going on in Israel, and adding to them and exposing them to more information and to more quality content will help them either advocate for us to their circle, which could be wider, obviously, as well as counter all the lies that they constantly see. And then we also do this to try and do this in both Israeli, pro-Israeli and neutral groups, so that the post will have a lot of exposure, and that will make the post more stronger and more positive, so that when Facebook recognizing the algorithm of Facebook is really going to advocate for popular posts, because that makes it more attractive for them. So the more we make our post popular, the more they will spread into areas that we may not have access to. How do we select the content? Let's go back. So how do we select the content? The content that we select is in the same way. We try to make sure that is the first round, that they are popular, that they have a pro-Israeli content. We then have what we call the human test of it, where we have individuals that manually check those posts to make sure that they are accurate and current. So sometimes some of our content you may find and think, I don't like it, or it's too old. It's okay. It's in our database. Let us know. We'll take it out. We keep those fresh and refresh them over time. But there might be a glitch, and it might be too old, and it shouldn't be there. I know that when we had a lot of our hostages come home, the numbers have changed overnight. Then the popular post kept saying the wrong numbers. So the minute we understood that, then we manually removed posts and added posts as required. So the posts are added automatically, but then manually we check them, verify them, and make sure that we are doing what we need to do with those. Hopefully that helps, because I know these two questions have come a lot. If we look now at how do we actually do this? So a lot of people sense of technology. So basically, it starts with us, with all of you, the community. And once you get the message with the link on the WhatsApp group, and we send that twice a day, you click on the link. That link takes you to a preview of a content and the group where you're going to be able to post that content. New feature that was added a few months ago is that you're actually able to not only view the content before you share it, but you can also change content. So if you're not happy, you can keep clicking on the button of changing the content until you find a content that you're happy with, that you feel that you're comfortable sharing. Because it's important that you're comfortable sharing it, because if somebody responds to you, you might want to be able to respond to it. And a lot of the content is very popular, and we've seen it everywhere. So for me, I don't even have to open the video, but if you're not familiar with it, you could. The group, on the other hand, there's a title, there's a name of the group, and then if from the name of the group you feel that it's inappropriate for the text that the post that you selected, or you don't feel comfortable to join that group, then you can change group. And again, you can keep changing it until you find a group that you feel more comfortable to do this. Once you have a post that you like, you have the group that you like, you have the text that you like to go with it, you press share, and that takes you into the Facebook, into that group, where you then need to join the group, paste your post, and press post. And that's as simple as that. It's basically a few clicks and you got it. When you join groups, there might be some questions there, and you might feel that it's inappropriate for you to join that. At that point, you can always take that post and post it in a group you joined previously on another one of our tasks, maybe the few days earlier or yesterday, or even on your wall. So don't lose that post, because our system counts that. You can go back once you did the share. It counts your post for the day, one of the 6 that you're allowed to do, and we'll talk about why we're limiting it to 6, but essentially that's what happens then. So then you asked us, how effective are we? And it's a very good question. We know how effective we are by the numbers that we are seeing, or the expressions, or how we are starting conversations online, how we get reactions and impressions all around Facebook. So you can see here 2 examples of 2 posts that were posted. I'm sure a lot of you have seen those posts and probably posted on your wall, in which case you may have got 5, 10 people from your circle liking, and again, they're not necessarily the target market that we're going for here, but in this case you can see that these have created a conversation. There are 45 comments to the one on the left, 327 likes, and 37 reshares. So we managed to strike a conversation and to bring to the forefront content that otherwise wouldn't have got there. So that's a good indication of how effective we are. And if we stay with the numbers, we can, as Boaz was saying, we've already posted over 300,000 posts collectively in our group. And those 300 posts have resulted in 216 million, or over 216 million impressions on Facebook. And it's massive, it's huge. There's very, very few groups, even ones that are well-funded, that can reach these type of numbers. So we clearly are doing something here, and there is a basis for change here. And I just put here some information that I'm sure can help you. So we've been around for about 4 months now. As I said, this started after October 7. We're about 8,000 community members in our 11 WhatsApp groups. Only one of them is in English, which is the one you're familiar with, but there are 10 others that are Hebrew groups, and in total we're about 8,000. We've posted, like I said, over 300,000. The impressions, like I said, are about 215 million already. And we just opened our basically established a research and analysis team that now is going to analyze these numbers, because what does that mean, right? Out of the 300,000 posts, did we end up sending 20% or 80% into groups that are really already pro-Israeli and didn't benefit from this? How many of these really reached the target audience we're trying to reach, which is really, when you think about it, is people outside of our circle? And to me, I was just thinking the other day, you know, even if it's just 10%, which I'm pretty sure it's not, pretty sure it's much higher, but even if it's just 10%, we're saying that 30,000 people that never would have heard about this, never would have been exposed to pro-Israeli content were. And if we take 30% of 210 million, then we're talking about 70 million people being exposed to that. So it depends on how we look at it, but at the end of the day, there's impact. And then if we just stay with the numbers, our goal for 2024 is to quadruple these things and essentially, or double the post. So we will be 15 months into operation by the end of 2024. We hope that our community will grow from 8,000 to at least 15,000. So we hope to almost double ourselves, the community of volunteers. The post to date, we hope to be at least 1 million by the end of 2024, which we are in the right pace to get there. So please continue that. And of course, if we manage to do 1 million posts, we will be able to get to 1 billion exposures, and that would be clearly great. That's the target. How do we go there? What are our targets for 2024? So there's a lot of things we're trying to do to make ourselves more effective and to have this power of this community really reach where we need to go. So the first thing is we want to add more features. You know, we have the feature 1, 2, 3 share that you all have been doing, and we'll go over how you do this more if you have any questions. We have added the feature of adding some preference. You can choose the content, you can choose the group, etc. We have some memes. And we are now hoping to add a feature of optional comments that will help people who don't speak English, and English is a second or third language for them, to be able to answer to people that are asking questions. So when we put a post, if somebody's reaching out to us and trying to learn a little bit, or telling us that we are, you know, attacking us verbally on Facebook to say that we're doing something wrong, there will be some suggested and optional comments that you could use, or you can start your comment with that to help people to be able to address those issues. Languages, a lot of people have reached out to me. Can we work on content in French and in Spanish, in other languages? Can we create a Fact Commandos groups that can start advocating for Israel in these areas? And the answer is yes. It just takes a lot of effort, a lot of money, and a lot of time. So the next target, which is, I think, very close to open, is Spanish. We chose Spanish because for 2 reasons. One is there are many countries, especially Latin America and in Europe, that Spanish is the language there. And also we were able to have a group that was able to volunteer and help us create those groups. So it's a combination. We need to have a target market, we need to have posts in that language, and we need to have a group of volunteers that can manage a community there. So the next one will be Spanish. I hope to have right after that the English and the French, and then we'll go from there. Additional social media platforms. So right now, the tool that we developed works only on Facebook and it was developed based on extensive knowledge of the Facebook algorithm and our ability to manipulate it and to work for our advantage. So to go into any other platform, we need to learn that platform, we need to program to that platform, and we need to develop that tool. So it requires a lot of time and a lot of efforts, and we have a group of programmers volunteering and doing this, but it takes time. We are now looking at going into the LinkedIn and developing something similar to LinkedIn. I think that's going to be the next one, but who knows? I know we definitely want to go to the Twitter, the X, previous Twitter, and to go into TikTok and other platforms, but it does take time, like I said. Market research and target content. Right now, like I said, we go to neutral and pro-Israelis international audience. And again, the idea is to spread it to the international community. We are working on tools that will help us target more specifically the target market and cater the content to it. So if we are talking to a group in Wisconsin that focus on human rights or on women's rights or on children's rights, maybe we can have all the content that talks about women's rights in Palestine versus Israel, in what happened to women during October 7, things that will talk even more to these groups. So that is, again, a tool that we're working on developing, and it does take a lot of time and effort, and it also takes time on the copywriting side of things to make sure that the way we write things are talking to those groups, etc. So that's something we are looking into. Gamification and user effectiveness. So this talks about, right now we have limited features. We talk about expanding the features, but gamification is to make this almost like a game to help us be more incentivize people to do the task. So because we all get tired, and a lot of us are doing it, once a day, twice a day, every time 3 posts, but then we get tired, we get busy, and we forget about it. So we would like to get a reminder to everyone that we shouldn't get tired. It's a very important cause, and we should just try to set aside those 5 minutes a day and do it. So this would hopefully help people. And then the last part of it, we are moving from being an initiative into an organization, a non-for-profit organization. And in that, there are some donation opportunities to do that. And the government of Israel will be funding 50-50. So for every dollar that we donate or collect, the government will match that. So there is a large drive to do that as well, again, to support all of those programmers and initiatives to build all the items we're trying to do for 2024. So now I want to go into very specific questions that were sent, and these are pretty much the way the questions that were sent to us in the form that I shared a few weeks ago were sent to us. Some of these were edited to combine questions, because some of these topics came to us in various ways. I think we tried to answer a lot of those before, but we'll go through those with you. So the first one, it looks like a lot of members are posting on the same open page or group. How do we know if we are making a difference? So the first thing is you need to know that the number of posts that go to a group is also controlled by our system. So if you go to a group and all of a sudden you see quite a lot of us, it's probably a very large group. So a large group will get more posts from us on the same day. A smaller group will get less. So we're trying to monitor that. Now, there was one day a glitch that there were a lot of posts in the same group, and I got a message. I went in there and I saw it, and then we immediately called our tech support, because there was just a glitch. We shouldn't have had all of us go to that group. So the idea is that you shouldn't see a lot of them, and certainly not the same post. Like, that's a really great coincidence, because there's so many posts, so many groups. The likelihood of one of us choosing the same post, the same group at the same time is fairly small. How do we know that we're making a difference? Like I said, right now we can only see the numbers and we can see the conversation we're striking, but we do have a group that's looking into that, and I hope to be able to report something on that. The second question was, content is missing, difficult to watch videos of the massacre on October 7 and videos of leaders of the Hamas who say we will do it again and again. Can these be added? So I want to say that the difficult videos, we are avoiding them. The international community that we're trying to talk to really can't stomach them. A lot of the time they get blocked. They're against, they are recognized as against Facebook policies, and there's really no effective, if I see we all see the effect of it and the opportunity there, but we can't use it for what we're doing. So you can do that on your personals. You can do that in other methods, but not through this system. Having said that, I did see that we did add, based on this comment, a lot of content that shows that talks a little bit more about these and makes references to what the Hamas leaders are saying. So if you have something like that, we can talk about that. Number 3 is if I don't like a group, I don't post in it. That's okay. I want to go back and post it in another location, but the system does not let me go back. Can you add a feature to go back? So why are we doing this? One of the parts of the issues with the Facebook algorithm is if you start posting too many, it will just block you. And it usually just does it for a few days. And it's not really blocking, it's really just suspending your ability to post in groups for a few days, but it slows us down, and we don't want that to happen to anyone. So we've put a lot of safety measures in our system so that doesn't happen by mistake. If we allow you to go back and repost it, you may do that by mistake more than the 3 times that we feel comfortable with everybody doing it, and it would actually put our operation at risk. So for that reason, we don't do that, and we rather, quote unquote, lose a post than risk it that you will be frozen. You won't be able to continue. What can you do if you did that? So you don't like the group, you don't want to post there, that's okay. You can, like I said, you can go back to an older group that you posted yesterday or last weekend, and you actually felt that it was a good group, there was a good conversation there, you can put it there. Or maybe it's a post that is more appropriate for that group. So great, go back to that group and post it there. Or you can just post it on your personal wall, but like I said, it's probably not as effective. But that way you don't lose that post, because otherwise, you're right, you've lost a post. Number 4, can we add a report feature, or so our activities can target high-profile accounts of celebrities and politicians posting false information and propaganda? So now we're talking about essentially going into anti-Israeli groups or targets that are out there on social media. That's something that whoever goes there needs to be well equipped to be able to respond and to be able to advocate and not get ambushed by other people and get stuck. And we don't want to expose our community to those situations. We're not prepared for that. Our community is a community of volunteers that just want to share the truth. So if we're going to go right into an anti-Israeli groups and try to do that, in all likelihood, we're not gonna succeed. The other part of it is when we all go there, we're actually increasing the popularity of these person. We're adding more activity to their activity, which actually makes them more popular under the Facebook algorithm, which is something we don't want to do. So it's something we're looking at to see if there are different ways to overcome this and be able to participate in these conversations and to advocate to Israel where it's not that comfortable, but we need to be prepared for it, and it's something that will take a little bit more time to do. The next question, question number 5, Hamas will not release hostages without Israel stopping the war. Israel will not stop the war before the hostages are released. How do we solve this? Very, very good question. I think a lot of people are thinking this, and a lot of people want to know how we can do this, and it is a problem. Facts Commando is not going to solve that, but the idea is that Facts Commando will expose people to the truth, to understand that Hamas is not releasing the hostages not because Israel is there at war. Hamas took the hostages before Israel was there at war. And we just want to be able to communicate the position that Israel is in. And we hope that that will help to advocate for Israel and the international community, that hopefully will make those difficult diplomatic discussions and that are ongoing for the release of the hostages and the stop of the war to actually be able to do what they need to do. Right now, there is a lot of pro-Palestinians and anti-Israelis sentiment across the world that's making those conversations more and more difficult. So it's to create a balance so we can be able to move from these conflict issues. How do you bridge the gap between the left and right in Israel to prevent self-destruction? Another very good question and very big one. It's and again one that Fax Commando was not designed to answer or to solve. But I think what we all can do is to stay balanced and be able to hear the other side and try not to become extremists to either side. We're all here together to try and advocate for Israel because we don't want to see terrorism anywhere in the world, and we want to have peace at the end of the day. How we get there, everybody has their own opinion, the left and the right. We're not here to reconcile that. As Dganit was saying, we are bipartisan. We want to remain that way. We don't want to take sides. We're just trying to advocate for Israel so that we can see anti-Semitism going down and see the terrorism becoming weaker. That's all we're looking for. The last question is actually a combination of a lot of questions that are all good questions that, again, Fax Commando was not really designed to do that. So, can we provide information on how and where we can volunteer in Israel or donate? Like I said, for donation, you could donate to our organization. How you can volunteer, you're already volunteering with us, so that's great. If you want to volunteer beyond that, there are lots of organizations online that you can find that, but again, we're not able to do that. Travel status, updates on the Israeli hostages, the Hague trial, the situation in Israel, etc. All of these items. Our posts strive to do that. A lot of our posts talk about these current issues, whether a hostage was found or brought, released or found dead, or any of those are in the posts. The Hague trial was in the posts. So some of it appears there, but again, the intent is really not necessarily to inform us as volunteers. It's to spread that information to people who don't have the access to it. And that's about it. So the last question that comes a lot is, what can I do? And at this point, it's really about helping us to grow the community. So spreading the information about Fax Commando and bringing more people to help us, that would be the greatest help at this point. Because together we're stronger. And I really thank you, everyone, for listening to us. And I hope this was informative as you hoped it would be. I do think that, I don't know, that's it for me, but maybe we can take a look at some of the comments and questions. And I see some people raise their hand, and I don't know if you would like to say something. Okay, great. So before we start talking, maybe Boaz, Dganit, is there anything that you saw in the chat or that you would like to add before we open the floor to people to be able to ask questions?
Hi, yes, there are a couple of things that I saw. One, I saw that a couple of people volunteered to translate, which is great. So maybe we can use this information later on. I'm sure Boaz or Arya will follow up. The second thing is one of your questions that you addressed about what to do and how to report. I am very careful not to go to any anti-Israeli. In my anti-Semitism group, some people share it. I'm very careful not to go in because it does give them traction. However, there are a few US-based that I know of. I'm sure there are maybe more. Very efficient one is Combat Anti-Semitism. I think that's the name. I can share it in the link soon. And if you send them a screenshot, I do a screenshot instead of going in, you can send a screenshot of whatever it is, they can handle it. So that's another way to help report to other organizations who do it very effectively. Those are our remarks. Yeah.
Thank you, Dganit. No, that's great. And I can say that what we'll do in the group is I will share the recording of this video as well as these links so that anyone who's looking for that additional information will be able to find that. Yeah.
Moran, I saw one question about if we're going to TikTok. So yes, we're going to be in TikTok, in Instagram, in Twitter, in LinkedIn, of course, and in YouTube, but we have to do it right. So now we prepare the infrastructure of our systems to do it with on every social network, so including TikTok. The second, I saw someone that I don't understand how this work. Okay, because we everyone take the same post to the same groups, so we have a lot of posts, more than thousands in every time.
Every cycle.
Yes, and it's cycled. So the old post go out and the new post come in every day. First, second, we have a lot of groups, a lot, about more than 1,500 groups, but it's increased every day. So we give other posts to other groups, and we have a lot of kind of posts in every group. So it's not the same, and it's okay. Okay, that's for now. Maybe I saw everything. Something.
So I'll open the floor to hear people's question. And I want to say that after the questions and answers, Boaz, I would like you to show on the screen how we do the task, because I did get some more questions of how does it work, because it doesn't work for me, from some individuals. So we'll go there. But before we go there, I want to take some questions. So I see your hand up, Nava Skolnik. Would you like to unmute? And I'm sorry.
Okay, hi. How you doing, everybody?
Hello.
Okay, so first of all, I'm blocked right now by Fascist Book, obviously, until I think they said a few days, anyways. So I cannot post in any group, and I cannot go to groups that I was accepted before and respond to anything or do anything, anyways. My Facebook page has been public for all the posts basically that I do about Israel are public, just to get more exposure. But really, I think maybe 10 people can see what I posted. Okay, really, they're blocking, they're shadow banning, etc. Here is the thing. When I was looking at the post, and I think I corresponded are really, really important, because if you do hashtags that you want to later figure out, okay, how many people really saw it, or how many people did it reach, and you do Israel will win, for example, that's great. But what the Palestinians are doing, they're doing they're doing it very smart. Okay, they will take, for example, a Photoshop of children holding a sign that says 100 days. Okay, and they will say 100 days for the war, or the terror war of Israel against them, or something like that. Okay, so they're presenting children looking very miserable. You know, your heart goes out to them, right? And obviously you blame Israel because that's what the posts tell you. But the hashtags are so smart. the hashtag on that photo was best photo of the day. Okay, do you know how many millions of people are looking for the best photo of the day? Second hashtag was Photoshop, just Photoshop. Millions and millions and millions of people are looking for Photoshop. They're looking at this picture. It does something to their mind. Then they did art. Again, millions. And then they did Inshallah, which is okay, positive. And then they did something else that was Muslim. I can't remember right now. But basically, they target everybody. So when we do something that has any of the kids that are sitting in a tunnel that is obviously photoshopped, okay, to create something, or we should do best photo of the day. We should do Photoshop. We should do art. We should do general hashtags that would basically, we wanna have more people that doesn't know us, that doesn't know Israel, or only hear bad stuff about us, and we just wanna meet the drive-by, the people that are Joseph Haddad called them the 50-50 people. So those are the people that are, or I call them, they're on the fence. One time they see something very positive about Israel, they lean towards Israel. Next day they read something at the LA Times, which is always gonna be against Israel. So they move to the other. Those are the people we want to reach. So you have to reach them by using hashtags that are popular. So I added some hashtags to the post, okay?
Yeah.
But if you do it, I feel like if you do it automatically, so I don't know how you select the hashtags. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how you select the hashtags, but when you do the hashtag and you start clicking, it will start writing, it will tell you how many views or how many searches you have, and you have to really generalize it. Like, for example, the post about the UNRWA teachers should be under education, under social justice, under, so you bring more people to see it.
Excellent point. Excellent point. And we did talk about that. And I did relate that to our copywriters. In terms of how do we select the hashtags, we do have a group of copywriters that do that. I did start seeing some general ones, but maybe it takes time until all of our posts will get it. So you might start seeing it, and it will take time before you'll see it everywhere. But to your point, it would be great if people add them. And I think it's actually sometimes that, when I see something like this, for example, when I see, let's say, the post you see now on the screen, you see a girl, I would probably add another, hashtag, children, kids, things like that, like you said, family, things that people will look for them more general now level, and we'll get to those. So it's a great idea, and we are looking to incorporate this. I think I've already seen some, so I know we've heard you, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
But I think it's very good that the community, whoever is on the line now or will see a recording, also hears this, because it's a very valid comment. And it's very useful for all of us to use it both on our personals, and even when we do a post for Fax Commando, you can always add text. I can tell you that sometimes I look at the group and I think this group would benefit if I presented this from an educational perspective, because that's their focus. So I might add a sentence about that. But that's the benefit, that people that are here that speak, and English is a, it's easy for us, then that's our benefit. Some people that English is not their first language, are they have hard time with this, or they don't have the time. So that's fine. But I think it's a very good point, and we definitely will continue to take that into our heart. Okay. Thank you so much.
One more thing, the memes, if I can say one more thing.
Yes.
Some of the memes that I looked at that we were supposed to take and share, there was a meme there that was showing, I think it was talking about genocide and the demographic, okay?
Mhm.
And the Palestinian child was saying, we're under genocide or something like that, and the Jewish child, with the Israeli flag, was raising his hand, and he's raising his hand like this, and he's showing the graph, and if you would do this, it would be much better than the right hand high up, because it's a Nazi thing. I looked at it and I immediately was like, oh my God, no, I'm not sharing this. So
yeah, so Nava, I have the same reaction, and a lot of people have different reaction to different memes and content. And this is a very good comment. And again, we should continue to communicate that and be comment from 15 people, so we try to not overload our creative team, so we do forward these, and it's a very good comment. Having said that, a lot of these memes that you're seeing and our content have been verified as popular, so they're doing something to create a conversation. And even if the conversation is, why is this kid, has his hand up like this, it's terrible, eventually we created a conversation that leads to the fact that we are not doing a genocide. So I think we're trying to filter those out as much as we can and bring more quality and more things that are more generally accepted. But some of it's really difficult because we are a big group, and someone will have the opposite opinion to you and me. So we try to cater. But what's good about our group is you don't have to share that meme. There are other memes there that I'm sure you relate better and you feel that are more powerful. And that's why I was saying, when you also see a comment, a content, if you don't feel that it's the right content for you to share, there's other options. You can keep changing until you find the one that you feel powerfully about it.
it's not about what I think, it's about what I feel. It's about what the general public
Feel, yeah.
You raise your hand in that direction, that's in your head, you see Heil Hitler. So and I mean,
Terrible.
if they've done it to Bibi, even when he was speaking at the UN, he was pointing in that direction and they took a snapshot, and that's, oh, he's like, so we have to be careful
Good
about
point.
those things.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Guys, we have a few minutes, so we have to be focused. And I'm going to talk about something like you ask about the hashtags. So we use the hashtags not for the standard way. We monitor with the hashtag where we publish, and based on this, we choose the groups that we don't publish on these groups. This one, it's help us to monitor our traffic and what we do. The next one is to redirect the people to our last post for the last day. So our hashtags, we use hashtags differently from how other people use hashtags. Now we create automatically comments. This feature going to be on this week or maybe next week, but this feature going to use new hashtags. And these new hashtags is relevant to the post topic, okay? And here we can add your idea. Here we can add a relevant hashtag, but not standard hashtag, some popular hashtag, like, what you say, best photo or something like that. And that's good idea. Here I can think where we can use your idea automatically with the software. We can look what is the best 10 hashtags and automatically get one and add it to the post. So good idea. And the next ones that they want to ask, so we're going to do it a little bit quickly. So come on. Anna.
Anna Stephanie.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, hi everyone. Just a question. Quite often I don't really want to join the group. Is it possible to post without joining a group? Because I've never seen feedback on my posts. I've never seen conversations from my posts, which is really strange because I'm doing them every day.
So, okay, so a couple of things that you said. The first one is if you don't want to join the group, you can still post in the group. The likelihood of that post being as effective is lower. People would read or pay attention to posts from group members more than from someone who's not on the group. Also, there is a higher likelihood that an administrator will block that post and not let it publish on their group if you're not a member of the group. So this is why we encourage everyone to become a member in the group. It makes your post more effective. Now, you said you've never seen any communication or comments on your post and you're doing them all the time. So quick question, do you do them when you join the groups or when you don't join the groups?
Both. But I mean, I'm really
Both.
not interested in like cowboys in Texas joining a group. I'm sorry, I'm not.
That's okay. You don't have to. That's okay. So it could be that that's why you don't see activity, but I can tell you that I've been doing it for three months, a little bit longer. And at the beginning, I didn't see any activities, and it started to happen lately that I started to see more of them. And it's a lot of coincidence, I think. It depends on the group that you posted in, the post that you posted in. But sometimes you don't see them because somebody just reshared it. I don't think it notifies us from Facebook. You will only know if somebody liked it or commented on it.
Right.
And sometimes you might be missing those notifications. Like I started missing a lot of those. So I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it. I don't know, Boaz, if you have any ideas here, but if somebody doesn't, we really don't, somebody doesn't feel comfortable joining a group, again, it makes it less effective, but I think it's still worth doing.
We think.
Yeah, but sometimes it might be against my political feelings. So that's why I don't want to join that group.
That's understood. And again, I hope you can use the feature of changing the group until maybe you can find one. But I understand sometimes I flip between 4 or 5 and I still don't find. I just want to post it, which is fine too. So I think what you're doing is good. But it's just a question of how effective it will be.
I'm going to share you something interesting. So before we start the gamification of what we do, so we're going to do profilization, okay, user management, and everyone, we're going to monitor everyone actives, and we can, but this is a feature that we need to think about it deeply. And we can see where a person do the post about 10 days and save these groups on this person. And after 10 days, it redirect all the time to this the groups and makes you some expert in the group. When people first time do post in a group that he never was in this group, so it's a little low, low actives with low engagement with these posts.
Okay.
So we're going to create a user management that gives to the people who exist, do it better with more engagement. This is what we work about, but this is on the next steps. It's not. It's hard to develop a perfect.
No, I understand you can't do everything at once, and I think your group's amazing. I've really found it very useful. I've been doing Hasbara for years and years, and this is just one of the things I do, but I think it's brilliant the way you've done it.
Okay.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you.
We think to the long run. Yes.
Yeah. No, this is all great info. Ofra Tzvi, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, yes. I'm just thinking about because sometimes I see, I'm doing the twice a day, right? Like reposting, but sometimes I would like to save these, very powerful videos and then put them into TikTok because I know TikTok, there's a lot going on, and a lot of hatred and the young people are there and I want to, but I cannot save anything unless I see something in TikTok and I can repost, but I cannot really. I wish I could take from somewhere and save it in my phone and upload to TikTok, but it doesn't seem to work. So I'm asking you.
So I am not a tech savvy. Boaz, can you, I can tell you what I do when I find something really good. I always send it to myself or someone on, you can paste it, the same thing that we do. You can paste it either on your wall on Facebook or you can paste it on WhatsApp. So at least I have a way to get back to it, because sometimes that's another problem. You post it on the group and then it's very hard for people to find it. So
No.
I can, but to
Sorry.
take it to TikTok, I don't know the answer. So Boaz, how do you take it to TikTok? Is it something you can show us?
Okay. So if you see something in TikTok, how you can use it? This is your
No,
No,
not in
in
TikTok,
TikTok,
something in Facebook.
when I see let's say you have all this video Commando Hasbara. If you go there are many
Okay,
videos,
okay.
but I cannot upload them to TikTok.
I understand you. So I have you see my
Yeah,
my
we can see
screen?
your screen. Yeah.
Okay, so I have links on the links that every link you can download to your computer the video from your specific network, okay? And after that you can upload to the TikTok or wherever you want.
Can I do
So-
it also on my cell phone?
Yes, I don't know. I don't try it on the cell phone, but in the computer it's work.
So where do I go about? How do I go? Where do I go?
Boaz, can you put the link in can you put the link in the chat? I'd like to get that too.
You could also do
Thank you,
screen capture.
Ofra.
Download
Right.
download
Sorry.
from Facebook if you want to download from TikTok.
Wait, so it's a feature or what? What is it?
That's a website that gives you to download videos from other networks to your computer.
I see. So I'll put the link of a certain video, send a link, and then it will download to my cell phone or whatever. That's what you mean?
Mhm.
Boaz, can you do one of these?
I have more of this for Instagram.
No, can you open it in your screen and if you can take one that you take a video from Facebook and you turn it into TikTok. Let's do one example. Can you use your tool, the link that you put
now to show you?
Yeah, just take this a video, for example.
An example, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
now you take a video that is a Facebook video and we want to turn it into something different. Okay, so
this is the link of this post.
of the video, right? That we wanted to post, okay?
From Facebook, right?
From Facebook. It's one of what you saw now, Ofra, is the link that we gave you to share with the group. So
Right.
every post that you do at the bottom of it, there is a link. So you take that link, you copy it, you paste it into this video, then you press download. And now, what does it do? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so now
Save somehow, no?
no video title,
Download.
normal quality, download in high quality.
Normal quality, high quality, normal quality. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens then? How do I post it?
Now it's download to my computer.
Now it's on your phone, and then when you go to TikTok and you do upload, you can upload a video from your machine.
On your phone, yeah.
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
That's
Good.
we learned something new. Thank you, Ofra.
Sure.
I have a lot of answers to a lot of questions here. Everything I need about Commando Hasbara.
You
or
can screen
So-
capture on your iPhone and it creates a video of the video. Oh, wow, that's sophisticated.
Okay, we're gonna go to the next
Okay.
question. Thank you so much, Ofra.
Sure.
Did you have any other questions?
No, you're doing a wonderful job, and thank God that you exist, because otherwise we're going to lose this war, you know?
Thank you
And I'm
very much.
so happy that you exist. Seriously, I was, it's crazy
We exist.
without
You're
you.
part of us.
Yeah, but I do a small part.
That's how we get there.
I wanna ask
Okay.
how you can suggest. So I send a link for people that want to suggest a post. Okay, on this link.
Okay.
Yes.
So I see there's no more hands up. I'm assuming Anna, you're okay, Anne? Did you have any other question or just your hand up from before?
Oh, sorry, I didn't take it down.
That's okay. That's okay. I just wanted to make sure I'm not missing anything. I do want to touch on one. There was a comment before from Nava that she is blocked right now in Facebook. This happens, and it's usually for a few days, and it's usually just from the activities in groups. Don't be deterred. Don't be frustrated with it. It happens, and it really has to do with the algorithm. So we're just trying to minimize this from happening. This is why we have the safety measure of not reposting too many per day, and we're trying to we encourage everyone to do likes and provide comments, because again, it gives points to your account, making sure that your account is not a robot. That's the idea. We're trying to tell the Facebook algorithm, I'm not a robot, I'm very passionate, and that's why I do all these posts. And he's okay with it. The algorithm will let you do that if they don't suspect something, and they start suspecting when we do too much all of a sudden, or when we do something that feels like it's not manual and genuine. So don't be discouraged by it. Let's just keep working together, and we'll continue. I think we already past our 1 hour. So I don't know if there's no other questions. I really want to take this time to thank all of you for sitting here with us. And thank again, Boaz and Arye, for coming up with this amazing initiative and letting me and everyone else be part of it. I think it's an honor to work with you guys. And I really see the difference, and it's amazing. So let's keep it up, and we'll grow from here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
ביי, תודה רבה.
תודה לך.
אריה, אתה יכול לבטל הקלטה.